Welcome everybody to part 2 of the off-leash hiking safety course. This is Coach Sheldon with Fearless Canine, and as you can see, we're out doing some play hunting with the boys, and they found some kind of squirrel or something. They're running in the brush. They're having a good time. Stress level is coming down. The anxiety cup is emptying right now. And it's important to always keep in mind the anxiety reduction method as we're hiking, so that we're not making the problem worse, we're making the problem better. We're draining the cup, we're not filling the cup. And to do that, I like to minimize the number of commands that I'm giving the dogs on the hike. So I distinguish between a command that must be followed no matter what, that I would reinforce or I would enforce with the e-collar if they disobeyed, which would be a recall, a hard recall, telling the dog to come, versus providing verbal guidance to keep the flow of the walk going, moving us in the right direction while keeping the energy really positive and fun. So right now, Macho is kind of falling behind. The e-collar actually vibrated, so he's getting a bit of an automatic correction here. Macho, let's go! And you can see that dust pile, he's digging a hole. So he's so focused on the prey right now, I have to make a decision on what to do. And, oh, he decided to come back voluntarily. Macho, let's go. So that time, the collar, my electric collar automatically did the work of forcing him to come back. And his prey drive is so high and he was so focused on chasing that rodent or whatever, digging that hole, that he didn't listen to my verbal guidance. And that's a really good example of why with these high drive dogs, the e-collar can be sometimes a necessity. And of course, I'd love to reach a point where Macho listens to me all the time, but his prey drive is so high, he's so young, and even though he trusts me, and even though we have a very good relationship, there are limitations to that because his drives are just so damn high. So I have chosen an area that I'm familiar with, where I know there's a relatively low risk of having incidents, such as encountering horses or encountering other hikers with bad dogs or people camping out here. And so I always scope my locations in advance, and I'm very familiar with this location. Today I chose this spot because the road has some gravel on it, this kind of dusty, it's a red gravel that they used. And I'm tired of breathing the dust. It's like early July and I've had it with the dust. So that's why we're out here today. And I'd like to demonstrate and explain what I'm trying to accomplish with the off-leash walk. Why are we out here in the first place? So both of these dogs have a very high prey drive. And if they don't have a chance to do some kind of hunting pretty much every day, then they're just unable to relax in my apartment throughout the day. So to alleviate that anxiety, I like to start the day by giving them the chance to explore the forest and to hunt prey freely. And I do that out here in the Deschutes National Forest. It's a lot of fun. Also, this is healthy for me to get out and do some low intensity cardio, doing some walking every morning. So this is beneficial for my health, it's beneficial for the dog's health, and it's also beneficial for our mental health. Now, with Macho, he is a 3-year-old German Shepherd Belgian Malinois cross, and his prey drive is exceptionally high. Highest I've ever seen in any dog. And that's why I keep him on an e-collar, because if he encounters a deer or if we encounter equestrian riders on horseback, he's going to chase and he will not listen to me when I do the recall or when I tell him no. And that is something I'm working through, and over time he will improve on. But at this point in time, there's still a risk that he chooses to pursue the prey rather than coming back to me. And with dogs with this much drive, that's going to be inevitability for a lot of a lot of people. And that's why we have the e-collar. So while we are out just having a good time, the dogs are free to go wherever they want. Macho. Good boy. You can see Tom is not even wearing an e-collar. He has a knee one. And Macho is wearing his e-collar, and you can see it doesn't cause him any stress. He knows he's free to go do the things that he wants to do because this is part of our daily routine. He has that expectation in his mind. And so he's able to chase squirrels, rabbit, marmots. Sometimes he'll go after deer, whatever we find out here. And if we do this for, a good 30, 40, sometimes an hour in the morning, then the dogs are just relaxed in the apartment all day long, which is really beneficial for my mental health and allows me to do work, keep my apartment clean, all that kind of important stuff. So what I do is I have commands that must be obeyed no matter what, which I will enforce using the e-collar. So if I say, Macho, come. When I use the come command, Macho must come back to me. That's a skill that we've trained. Good boy. Good boy. And you can do that with treats, reinforcing with treats, but Macho just wants love. So he just gets love, a good 5 to 10 seconds of head pats, his favorite spot. And then I'm going to tell him that he's free to go. Macho, free. Let's go. Free. And now he knows. Back to work. Back to work. Sometimes the dogs are just getting a little distracted and I'm trying to turn around or I'm trying to go a different direction. And so I've trained them to understand, let's go, let's go. Just give them a let's go, a little tick, and they automatically, they look at me and then they look and see which way I'm going and they'll join me. And the best way to explain the energy that I'm bringing is like, hey guys, party's this way. We're going this way to have more fun. It's not like, everybody stop, you must come back to me. No, it's not authoritarian at all. It's a cooperative effort, like we're continuing the hunt together and we just want to go this way. We have reached a point on the trail where there's a fork. The dogs are looking at me for direction which way to go. Macho is making a guess that we're going back to the van, but we're actually going to go a different way. So I'm going to give verbal guidance, not a recall. This way. And just turn my body. The dogs understand right away. So this is the difference between a verbal command that's going to be enforced with the e-collar versus some guidance that just tells the dogs what we're doing next. And hey guys, party's this way, party's this way. And as you can see, they are having a blast and the anxiety cup continues to drain.